If you're constantly broke in Raid, I promise you it's not the game, it's probably just your habits. Most players are leaking millions and millions in silver without actually even realizing it. So, in today's video, I'm going to go over 3 of what I think are the biggest mistakes I see people make when it comes to rolling gear. How hopefully you can fix them and get back on track and start making millions of silver again. Let's do it. Guys, before we move ahead, I've got a new player promo link and it is waiting for you in the pinned comment and description of this video, and it's going to get you off to a solid head start in Raid with a free legendary and 3 free epics as you level up your account. Here's what you need to do. You'll want to log out of Play and Play on your PC and uninstall the game. Click the link in the description and register with a brand new email address. Launch Raid, complete your tutorial, go to your inbox and claim your first free champion. Right, let's do it guys. Mistake number 1. You are rolling bad gear beyond level 8. This is going to be a huge one for nearly all accounts, and we're all guilty of it because what we do is we just like to hope that things are going to get better. What we need to do is realize that if at level 8 the bit of gear is not going the way you want, stop, do not pass go, and certainly do not spend another 500,000 silver just simply hoping that the substats are going to get better, because chances are they're not. Let's pick on this bit of gear here, because I think this rule really certainly makes a lot more sense when it comes to rare gear. We've got a defense percentage chest, very, very cool, super solid. We have got speed, probably the best stat you can get on any bit of gear, but as you can see here, we've also got flat HP. Now, if I go beyond 8, I don't know what's going to happen here, so the best thing to do is to just roll it in 4s. We roll 4, we get flat HP. That's incredibly disappointing. What I was actually looking for was a nice, juicy double speed. Flat HP is by far the weakest available stat that we've got. If I take it to 8, there you go. I've now got a double flat HP chest. That's not what I want. So at this point, there's no point in me sinking another 2, 3, 4, 500,000 silver into this bit of gear, because ultimately it's already missed what I wanted it to be, and no amount of silver that I throw at it is actually going to make it any better. At this point, cut your losses. Just sell it. In the long run, you are going to save so much more silver. Okay, now let's pick on a different bit of gear here. We've got a nice, shiny, mythical helm. It seems good on the surface, but if we start to look at it, it all feels a little bit misaligned. We've got attack percentage with flat attack. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, but we've also got speed and we've got resistance. The synergy going on here is a little bit strange, but what I like to do is look at the bit of gear and think, right, what would I actually want on this bit of gear? Judging by its substats, I guess I want speed and attack percentage. That's probably the only redemption this bit of gear is going to get. So I'm going to roll it in increments of 4. We get speed. This is good. This bit of gear might actually become something, but what we're going to do now is we're going to take it to 8. Let's see what happens. We get flat attack. Suddenly, this bit of gear is just not quite as exciting as I want it to be. Now, I could throw another few 100,000 silver at it and hope that I get another speed, but I've already actually missed the only other substat that I actually want on this bit of gear. So for me, I know my account and I know that I'm just going to cut my losses and I'm just going to sell at this point because it's just not worth more investment for me. So we just have to go, okay, get rid of the bit of gear and move on to the next. Silver is not for gambling, it is for upgrading guarantees, and at level 8, that's when you find out if it's a win. Mistake number 2, you are judging your gear based off of its set rather than its stats. In Raid, if there's one blanket rule that can be applied to pretty much every bit of gear with 0 exceptions, that is stats over sets every time. If you've got a bit of gear like this one here from Provoke set, and you think, well, I don't really use Provoke, it doesn't actually matter. Let's have a look at those substats. We've got crit rate, we've got crit damage, and we've got attack percentage. If this rolls well, it doesn't matter that it's Provoke. It could be in life, it could be in just about anything, but good stats are always going to be good gear. So let's just roll it again. Let's take it up in 4. What I'd really have liked to seen is crit rate and crit damage as the kind of main, but let's try again. Let's take it to 8. We get double crit damage. Suddenly this is actually a really good bit of gear. It doesn't matter that it's in Provoke set. In fact, that now is so incredibly irrelevant. At this point, I would think, you know what? Okay, this bit of gear could actually be worth a little bit more investment. What would I like to see? Well, crit damage again would be great. Crit rate would be even better. I would argue that attack is the weakest stat now, but any of the stats above are going to lead to good gear. So we just take it to 12. We get attack. It's the weaker of the three, but you know what? That is a great bit of gear there for a DPS, and it just doesn't matter that it's part of the provoke set. So many people just delete gear because it's just not part of a meta set, when in reality, here we've now got a bit of gear which could go on absolutely any of my nukers and probably just make them better in the process. It's kind of simple. Let's look at this as an example. Life set. No one uses life set anymore. It couldn't be further from meta if we tried. However, look at the substats. You've got speed, you've got attack, and you've got accuracy. What if you've got a nuker that puts out debuffs? Maybe someone like a Wukong. So once again, we can just start to roll it up and see what this bit of gear is actually shaping up to be. We get a roll into speed. Perfect. Let's take it to 8. We get another speed. Suddenly, life set is completely irrelevant. This is now a great bit of gear to go on any of your progressing champions that either do a bit of damage or put out a few debuffs. It is that simple, guys. Sets mean nothing, stats mean absolutely everything. Always remember, guys, sets don't win fights, stats do. Every single time. Stats shadow legends, the sets mean nothing. Mistake number 3, leveling your gear instantly to level 16. This one really hurts, and you'd actually be amazed at how many people do this. Whenever I'm doing kind of takeovers or coaching, the amount of people that say, oh, I just took that to 16 because it was a mythical, or I took it to 16 because it was legendary and it was from Savage. None of these things actually make a difference. Now, you can get lucky. You might pull a bit of gear that's just got 4 glorious substats and think, okay, I wouldn't actually mind any combo of those stats, and I will take it to 16. It can work in your favor, but I would argue most of the time it's just not going to. Instead, you're just setting fire to your bank account, and it's just going to cost you millions and millions of silver, and chances are your gear and your account is not really going to improve in the process. This is something I know we're all guilty of, especially when it comes to artifact enhancement events. We're feeling lazy, we just want to get the points, so we go click straight to 16 on that, oh that didn't work, straight to 16 on that one, and all that you actually see is your supply of silver just drop like that, but the quality of your gear does not go up in the process. The cold, hard truth in this game is 99.9% of gear is not even worth 1 silver to throw into it. You've got to really learn to ignore the kind of shiny allure of the fact that it's got a red border or a gold border around it. It means absolutely nothing if the substats on it are terrible. Let's look at this as an example. Some people would see legendary gear, and maybe you don't have much legendary gear, and you're going to go, cool, let's take that straight up to 16 because it's really going to benefit my account. Chances are it's actually not. Let's look at the substats again. We've got resistance and defense. That pairs quite nicely together, especially in a resistance set. But crit damage is going to bring you absolutely no value whatsoever. And flat defense, well, that's just doing pretty much nothing once again. There's only 2 stats on this whole bit of gear that I think are remotely valuable, and ultimately what we are lacking in is speed. So you could, I guess, you could click that button and take it all the way up to 16 if you really wanted. But if you got a quad flat defense, then you've just burned like 1 million silver for absolutely nothing. One of the biggest things I use to save money on my account is to look at this, recognize it, cut my losses and go, I'd rather have the 40,000 than spend 1 million trying to make it something that ultimately it is not. So guys, if you even just fix one of these mistakes today, your account is going to thank you, and you are going to see a lot more progression, and you're just going to stop yourself falling into silver poverty all the time. And if you want me to do a much deeper dive into how I go about actually cleansing all the gear when I get it, so that I can turn bad gear into an absolute load of silver, please feel free to comment below and let me know. That's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe. This channel's gone kind of crazy over the last few days. I really appreciate all of you that are watching. I will see you on the next one.